DC Comics. Since their founding many years ago, there have been countless video game adaptations of their iconic characters, whether it be a fighting game like Injustice 2, a story-driven game like the Arkham Trilogy, or whatever the hell these two dumpster fires were supposed to be.
Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
They've done it all. Well, at least I thought so. Last week I was on vacation for my job, not making content, and like the iPad kid I am, I can't go a week without playing video games. As I was mindlessly going through the App Store, something caught my eye. The red in the background, the character on the front that I know all too well, and a logo I could recognize anywhere. Wait, wrong game. I meant this one. Maybe if you'd actually read the title, you'd have known that, but I digress. At its core, Teeny Titans is a turn-based strategy game that combines figure mechanics with whimsical combat, allowing players yawn. Teeny Titans is a creature collecting, character upgrading, team building, character battling, cartoonish strategy game that is backed by both an in-depth story and a plethora of side missions. Now, I know what you're thinking. No way, that's all that, I've never heard of it. I thought the exact same thing. How in the world has this masterpiece completely flown under the radar? So let's finally give it the love it deserves. As I was doing research, I learned that Teeny Titans isn't just one game. It's actually a series that consists of two separate games.
What?
Yes, I know you're shocked, but calm down. The first game was released back in 2016, with the second game following a few years later, being released in 2018. Both games were developed by a company known as Grumpy Face Studios and published by none other than Cartoon Network. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest. Outside of these two games, I've never even heard of Grumpy Face Studios. And after looking into them a little bit, there's a good reason why.
It's not your fault. I know. It's not your fault. I know.
Grumpy Face Studios is a mobile game development company founded in 2010, based out of Phoenix, Arizona. Outside of the Teeny Titans titles, their most popular games are Castle Doombad, Super Mole Escape, and Steven Universe Attack the Light. So, I'm assuming we're all thinking the same thing, so I'm just gonna say it. How has a studio managed to stay in business? I mean, not only have I never heard of any of their games, but they don't even currently have a website.
Very peculiar, don't you think?
On the other hand, you have a very well-known name in that of Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network is most popular not for their games, but their TV shows. Shows like Adventure Time, Regular Show, Johnny Test, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ben 10, and most importantly, the show Teeny Titans is based off of, Teen Titans Go. For those of you that don't know, Teen Titans Go debuted back in 2013 as a reimagining of the classic Teen Titans series. You know, the one that was super serious and story-driven that followed the complex plots of the Teen Titans.
I was protected by the monks of Azarath. I was raised by my friends. They are my family. This is my home, and you are not.
Well, Teen Titans Go brought the Titans back, but a little different.
Scoot your booty, that booty, and I do the booty scooty. Scoot your booty, that booty, and I do the booty scooty.
I think you get the idea. Teen Titans Go is most known for the goofy and lighthearted tone it provides, as well as its creative animation style. Both of these things are being used for the first time in conjunction with DC characters, and let me tell you, Teeny Titans captures them perfectly. The first time you load in, you can immediately see how the art style from the show was directly input into the game. Before you hit go, you can see the bright colors and cartoonish animation that has now become a defining factor of the show, and it only gets better as you progress through different places like Jump City, Metropolis, and even Gotham. Okay, before you start talking about some, color palette, well, it's not just the color palette that makes the artwork of the game shine. Outside of the bold colors, Teeny Titans also does an amazing job of keeping the cartoonish tone by using exaggerated features on chibi-style characters. Again, for those of you that don't understand what I just said, let me explain. Remember how at the start of the video I explained this was a creature collecting, team building, character battling game? Well, those characters that you're doing all these things with are designed in a chibi style. You know, like a pop figure. Well, imagine if you bought one that can move, battle, and had exaggerated human expressions. Then you should get the idea. Teeny Titans doesn't just have the art style going for it, it also has all the different mechanics that I mentioned earlier. You know, the ones that I listed off twice already. Come on, you gotta pay attention. The gameplay mechanics I'm talking about are the creature collecting, character upgrading, team building, and of course, character battling. Let's start at the top with creature collecting. Most of the time when people hear the words creature collecting, they instantly think of a certain franchise. Anyways, the creature collecting in Teeny Titans is a little different. Instead of running around in tall grass looking for things to beat up and take against their will, you just buy them at shops and force them to fight for you. Way more humane.
$1 going once, twice, 3 times sold.
Okay, well, you have to buy that dude.
It's a no-brainer.
I mean, that guy's huge.
A massive individual.
That's 2 of me.
Anybody would buy him.
Yeah, I'd buy that dude.
As you play through the game and progress to different areas, you'll unlock more shops, which in turn will allow you to buy more creatures, hence creature collecting. On top of just collecting the creatures, you also have the ability to upgrade them. Now, there are 3 different ways to upgrade your figs as the game calls them. The first one being to just use them. This allows them to level up, and every time a figure levels up, you can increase a different stat to make them stronger. Simple. The second way to upgrade them is simply make their moves stronger. Now, that might sound easy, but it isn't as easy as it sounds. Each fig has 3 different moves, and in order to upgrade these moves, you have to feed them. Yes, you heard me right, you have to feed them. Now, I know what you're thinking.
That does sound easy. Just give them something to eat.
It's not that simple. You're not feeding them normal food, you're feeding them other figs. Yeah, that's right. I have to go back to the store, buy figs with coins, and then force them to eat each other in order to make their moves stronger. Crazy, I know. The third way to upgrade them is to give them abilities. As you play through the game, you'll find these things known as chips. Essentially, each chip contains its own ability that you can then equip to a fig. You know, kind of like the abilities that you see in a certain franchise.
To train them is my cause.
Anyways, after buying the figs and upgrading them, the only thing that you have left to do is build your perfect team. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, for the majority of my time playing, I only use 3 figures: Robin, Blue Beetle, and Batman Beyond. So I can't tell you if all the figs are viable, but from what I've faced, they all seem pretty good. However, what I can tell you is that each team consists of 3 different figs. Right before you load into a battle, you choose 3 figs from your party and force them to fight to the death against your opponent. This leads us to the last mechanic, the battling. The battles in Teeny Titans are unique but simple. During the battles, each person has 1 figure out at a time, and those figures both have different bars and health. This bar slowly fills over time, allowing the figure to use its different moves in order to do damage or upgrade itself. The winner is then determined by whoever knocks out all of their opponent's pigs first. Nothing too crazy. There are some other features about battles, like equipable items that players can use and different effects that happen during battles, but those really don't happen until pretty late in the game, so I don't see that much of a reason to discuss them in detail. The developers did an amazing job with all the different mechanics that were put into Teeny Titans. That might be seen as the bare minimum, but you'd be surprised. There are an alarming amount of high-budget games that come out completely unpolished, so it's a nice breath of fresh air when a game is actually polished and ready to be on the market.
That does feel good, actually.
You also have to keep in mind that this is a mobile game with a very small budget, so it's even more amazing than it would be if this was a regular console or PC game. But I'm sure you understand that. The greatness of Teeny Titans doesn't just stop at the art style and the mechanics of the game. Teeny Titans also has a short but great storyline for you to complete. Hold on a second. Remember at the start how I told you that Teeny Titans is actually 2 games and not just the one? Well, for the sake of the video and for the fact that I played the second game, I'm really only going to talk about that one. However, I will get you up to speed. The story of the first game essentially just follows Robin on his quest to beat all the tournaments in Jump City and become the very best at fig battling. Vaguely similar to that same very popular franchise.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
The story starts off with Cyborg telling Robin that Teeny Titans was releasing their final drop ever as they were being forced to shut down. Except Robin doesn't even remember what the Teeny Titans are. So after a little explanation from the rest of the Titans, they all decide to head out and buy new figs, which officially starts the story.
Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? Titans, go! To the store! Again!
As you play through the game, you learn that the reason the figs are being discontinued is because the Justice League are suing them. This forces you to go to both Metropolis to talk to Superman and Gotham to talk to Batman about why the Justice League decided to do this. Once you talk to both of them, you learn that both know nothing about the lawsuit. This is when you see a law office in Jump City turn into a giant robot with the one who filed the lawsuit at the top, the infamous Teen Titans villain, Slade. You then go over to defeat Slade and call off the lawsuit, thus ending the story. Yeah, it's not a long story at all. If you really wanted to, you could probably beat the whole game in like 2 hours, except that would mean you're skipping all the tournaments, side quests, different color unlocks, and missing a lot of figs, but to each their own, I guess. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Teeny Titans is a perfect game, because it most definitely isn't. There are a few issues. For starters, both games cost money.
Just give me my money!
The game only costs like $3, so I don't really see a big problem with this, but I imagine a lot of you will, just because it's a mobile game. However, what I do have a problem with is the fact there are in-app purchases in the game. Normally, this wouldn't be a big deal to me, but they literally incentivize you to spend money in order to get rare figures incredibly early on. Things like Batman Beyond, which you can only find through luck, Joker, which costs like 10,000 coins, and then a few others that just cost a lot of coins. You can get them super early by just buying them. However, outside of the money and the fact that it's a mobile game, I really don't know what other issues people would have. I mean, there are a few minor bugs and graphic glitches, but realistically, what game doesn't have those? Teeny Titans really is the whole package. It's a fun, engaging, lighthearted cartoonish game that has a plethora of different characters to unlock and systems to enjoy. It combines the incredibly popular creature collector style with household DC names like Batman and Superman. So for this game to have flown completely under the radar is insane to me. It's easily one of the best DC games that I've ever played. Now, don't get me wrong, it has its issues, but Teeny Titans really is DC's hidden masterpiece. Anyways guys, thanks for watching another one of my videos, and if you enjoyed, go ahead, drop a like and hit that subscribe button as it helps the channel out immensely. But have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.